Politeness is harmful to business. In the kingdom of Zhao, there lived a man named Qingyang Can who had a son named Qingyang Nu. Although the young man wasn't particularly diligent in his studies, he was exceedingly polite, courteous, and well-versed in etiquette. One day, a severe fire broke out in their home, with flames reaching up to the roof. Father and son wanted to climb onto the roof to extinguish the fire, but there was no ladder in the house. The entire family was terrified, so Qingyang Can sent his son to the Benshui family to borrow their ladder. At this moment, the fire intensified, but Qingyang Nu showed no urgency. First, he changed into his formal clothes, carefully combed his hair, put on his hat, and then solemnly set off toward the Benshui residence. Upon meeting the head of the family, Qingyang Nu politely greeted him, bowing deeply with hands folded in front, entered the home, and took a seat in the living room. Mr. Benshui immediately instructed his family to prepare refreshments. Qingyang Nu did not refuse the hospitality and enjoyed the wine. Only then did Mr. Benshui ask, "What occasion brings you to visit us today?" Only after this question did Qingyang Nu explain the purpose of his visit. "I will not conceal from you, a misfortune has occurred at our home. Our house is engulfed in flames that have nearly reached the roof. We wanted to climb up and pour water to extinguish it, but, unfortunately, we lack wings. I've heard you possess a ladder. May we borrow it?" The young man explained the situation at his home while continuously bowing. Hearing this, Mr. Benshui grew furious, stomped his foot, and exclaimed, "How could you be such a fool? If a tiger approaches you while resting in the mountains, you should run immediately. If you see a crocodile while crossing a river, you must flee. Your own home is already burning to the roof. How can you still be bowing politely before me?" Mr. Benshui grabbed the ladder and rushed to Qingyang Nu's house, but it was already too late, the house had burned down completely. This parable teaches us the importance of setting priorities and acting according to the situation. One should not adhere blindly to rules and formalities but instead be flexible and understand what is appropriate and when. Otherwise, disaster may strike. Interesting fact. In the Ines Lu, there is an instructive tale of a pedantic scholar. Once, Yukanzi was warming himself near the stove with a friend who was deeply absorbed in reading. Suddenly, the friend's robe caught fire, unnoticed by him. Yukanzi stood up, bowed slowly with folded hands, and deliberately said, "I have something to tell you. But I fear you'll get angry and harm yourself upon hearing it. Yet, if I don't tell you the truth, I would fail my responsibility as your friend. I'm unsure what to do. If you promise to remain calm and not get angry, I dare to tell you." Confused by Yukanzi's serious demeanor, his friend reassured him. "We're good friends. Why worry about speaking with me? If you want to tell me something, please go ahead, I'm listening." Yukanzi bowed again slowly, requesting his friend not to become anxious once more. His friend again promised calmness. Only then did Yukanzi dare to say, "Look, your clothes are on fire. A large part of your robe has already burned." Without waiting to hear the end of Yukanzi's words, the friend jumped up and saw that his robe was indeed burning. He threw it to the ground and stomped on it to extinguish the flames. Seeing his damaged robe, the friend turned pale with anger and indignantly asked, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why all the unnecessary talk?" You see, Yukanzi replied. "We agreed you wouldn't lose your temper, yet you did. Indeed, it is easier to move mountains and rivers than to change a person's nature."